What is going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards back for another news update. This just dropped about an hour ago, 3:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And color me shocked on this one. Boy, we never saw this one coming. Who possibly could have guessed? CSG is raising prices. They just announced on Twitter. I should say before we get into it, like, comment, sub. You guys and girls know the drill by this point. Submissions to CSG have grown quickly since we launched in mid-February. New dynamics in the market have caused submission volumes to increase exponentially. Shocking, I tell you. Shocking. Which is basically running the same thing of we need to increase prices to essentially slow down submissions. They specifically say they will not limit submissions. CSG has no plans to limit submissions, but we have determined a reasonable increase to our fees is appropriate and necessary. This is effective April 28th. We do not know what the fees increases are yet, but better reflect the state of the market and rapidly growing demand for our service. People want to use us, so we are charging more money. That's really not what it is. I mean, I get it. A lot of people are going to say that in the comments below. A lot of Facebook rants are going to be about, oh, you got popular and you charge more money. They're doing this to try to slow people down from sending stuff in. That's why they're doing it. So for all the CSG touters out there, here's your boys jacking up prices just like everybody else did. And don't forget, we're not biased around here. All the grading companies kind of suck to a degree. So keep that in mind when you rant and rave. Forms must be completed by April 28th and must be delivered to them by May 28th. I actually think this is a mistake doing this because this is going to be, well, I don't know if it's a mistake. Here's the thing. If they don't get out ahead of this and kind of soften the ground for it, then people are going to be super pissed when it just gets sprung on them. On the flip side, they run the risk of getting even. So they're already falling behind. I just did the video like a week ago about how their times slipped. What do you think's going to happen now? A bunch of orders are going to get dumped on them from people trying to get stuff into grading before price increases go into effect. So they're just going to get even more buried. So, like, I get why they're doing it, but I think I would have done it with a smaller window, like maybe a day or like kind of what Star Stock did. Hey guys, we're implementing this fee in 24 hours. So people that have stuff ready to go can get it in. The people that don't, sorry about your luck. But I don't, there's going to be a short-term pain point here for them to get this rolling. So this is the same tactic we've seen before. So everyone that yelled at PSA for doing this and Beckett for doing this and SGC for doing this, well, here's the new kid on the block, CSG, been open for 3 months, doing the exact same thing. Once again, I am not surprised by this at all. I said this was going to happen back when PSA shut their doors, that CSG was going to get overwhelmed at some point in time rather quickly and have to do something. And here we sit. HGA is up to 7,000 cards per week now, or submission period, so 14,000 per week. I don't remember. Either way, that is a drop in the bucket. I want to say they don't matter. They matter, but it's just not, they're not putting a dent in anything with their limits. And I get why they're limiting. It's fine. But go on any social media platform that's talking about sports cards on Tuesday and Friday night, and a lot of it is people complaining about HGA's queue system. And how they're frustrated. It's been 8 weeks in a row and they haven't got in. And guess what? It's not going to get any easier. It's just going to keep getting harder. But yeah, this is not about them. Sorry for the little side tangent there. But CSG increases prices. They are giving you fair warning. You have time to adjust and get stuff into them if you so choose. I'm guessing they've been getting hammered with Prism and Select Football and this, that, and the other thing with PSA being closed for a lot of that stuff. So a lot of that business has probably been going there. And once again, their response is to raise prices. It's the standard. It seems to be the go-to lever that everyone pulls And I get why they do it from a business sense. I know it pisses a lot of people off. A lot of people be mad about it, but it's one of the things that they have to try to slow down submissions. You know, we can't talk too much about it because we don't know what the pricing is going to at this point. They say a reasonable amount, get reflecting the current state of the market. So I'll be curious. I didn't think, you know, their bulk level's cheap, but when you start tacking on subgrades and all this other stuff, they're, you know, 30, 40, $50 to send a card in for at a reasonable turnaround time. Yes, they have like the $8 bulk thing and all that. And I'm guessing they're probably getting hit with a lot of that low end stuff because there's nowhere else to really send that stuff to. And that's probably what's slowing them down. I haven't seen a ton of CSG orders coming back, but I don't follow a lot of people that sub to CSG. And I have no idea how this is going to reflect or affect group submitters that are doing group sub to CSG. So this is essentially whack-a-mole now. Okay, PSA closes down. Okay, we move on to the next one. 24 hours later, SGC's overwhelmed. They can't do anything. 3 weeks later, CSG's overwhelmed. They can't do anything. HGA has the gates up and they just let in a couple people at a time, like when you go to Disney World. And then God knows what Beckett's doing. Poor Beckett. BGS is just like wallowing off to the side somewhere, not saying anything, taking a year to get orders back on standard orders, not even bulk. Like, I have literally no idea what Beckett's doing. There's been rumors Beckett is making an announcement at some point in time about something, but nobody knows what. If it's a price increase, if they're closing down, if they're going to pull a PSA and shut everything down but Super Express, if they're going to raise prices again. It's been out there for weeks now that something is going to come down the pike with Beckett. Nobody knows what. To this day, it baffles me how they are still so backed up because I don't know anyone that uses them. You know, I make this comment all the time. Find me the last like bunch of YouTube videos where people were doing BGS submission previews or BGS submission reveals. I just don't understand how they're so backed up. I really don't. I would love to know what's going on out there. They missed a golden opportunity if they would have got their stuff together over the winter to vault right back up to be not necessarily past PSA, but be like the clear-cut number 2 like they used to be. And they really just dropped the ball on this entire thing, in my opinion. Sorry to go on the side grading rant there on, not rant, but once again, another tangent on other grading companies. But yeah, CSG. So we'll see what this does. We'll see what the prices look like come April 28th. That'll be next week. So a week from today, we'll get updated pricing on them. So once again, expect a video on that. But yeah, this is the state that we are now in. So PSA is still closed. SGC is $70 a card or $35 a card if you go through a group submitter. Beckett's 40, 50, $60 a card. HGA, you know, you got to play Hunger Games to get in. And that's where we sit, you know. Sorry, GMA guys. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess when the grading news comes, it all comes in the same day. But yeah, to me, once again, this is literally the least shocking thing ever. This was bound to happen. And meanwhile, PSA is bringing on AI and all this other stuff. I'll probably do another video about that just to go more in depth, maybe for Friday morning. So that is where we sit. I'll touch on this briefly, but it is funny that, you know, PSA, and this is kind of playing out exactly how I thought it was going to. PSA shuts down to get their shit straight. Come July, whether they're ready in July or not, but in a few months from now, they're going to be reorganized, reopen the doors to some degree, whatever they end up doing. New pricing, I'm sure, all that stuff, whatever. And they're honestly going to look like the saviors because you saw what happened. They closed, and within 2 days, SGC had to completely change their business model. And now we're a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, and CSG has already had to back up their dates once and now is having a price increase. And HGA had like their servers crash once right after PSA closed. And like I said, that queue's not getting any easier. So PSA closes and just rocks sends all the other grading companies into a tailspin, left running around like nuts trying to figure out what to do with all these increased orders. Meanwhile, they're just grading their Super Express orders and playing catch up, bringing on new tech and all this other stuff. Not saying that they're perfect, but they're going to come out of this looking fantastic. They're going to reopen doors in the summer. They're going to be I shouldn't say all caught up, but they're going to be reasonably, potentially, somewhat, back to semi-normal. I don't know. We don't know. But it's going to be better off than what a lot of these places are going to be. And now they've impacted the other company's business so much, they've forced all of them to raise their own prices. So now if PSA rolls out more prices, they can come in at what they were before or even slightly higher, and it won't look that bad because everyone else has had to jack their prices up because PSA closed. It's like genius. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls. We'll see what happens next week when they announce their new pricing, see what it sits at, and then we'll redo all the numbers and see, how it makes sense to use them, if it does, and all that jazz. So that's all I got for you guys and girls. We will catch you tomorrow morning for a PSA submission reveal, and also semi-breaking news. Depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this on Wednesday the 21st, I will be a guest on Reggie Collects tonight at 10 p.m. For sports card cross comic book talk. I'm guesting on his show to talk about the evil sports card people coming in and messing up the pretty little comic book market. So look forward to that as well. Tune into that 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reggie Collects on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic channel. Could not recommend enough. I'm excited to join him tonight to talk about us putting the Eye of Sauron on the comic book market. So like, comment, sub down below. Catch you guys on the next one. And girls, peace.